guys, it's the Island Girl, and I'm back with another one for you today. And today I'm reacting to the first time you realize America really messed you up, part 2. Now, I did part 1 a year ago, and and I just did part 3. So if you haven't seen that one, I was like in shock. I was dumbfounded with what these people had to say about being in the European region, and they realized how messed up it is that they lived in America, are from America, and experienced the world outside. And I was like, I'm shocked. Some of them I'm like, huh? What? Are you serious? Now I'm getting this one from TikTok Reacts. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show them some love. So we're going to get right into this one. So if you're new here, welcome. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you're not ready to subscribe, hit the like and check out some more videos, and then hit the subscribe button when you're ready. To all my regular schmegulars there, one to the pie, to the post. Come on in right back up, put a smile on your face and enjoy. All right, let's get into this video. But just before we do, guys, there's a join button. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, there's a join button on the channel. Once you hit it, you will see all the exclusive perks that are offered. Let's get into this video. Here we go right about now.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
When I was dancing in Australia, I did a jump and landed on the outside of my right foot. I sprained it real bad. And they drove me to a private hospital, and I was like panicking. But anyway, that's the one that was available to me at the time. And on my way into the lobby, I was, hobbling on my crutches, and they spotted me from the parking lot. The doctor came out to me before I even was in the building and went back into the hospital and told them that I was coming. In the waiting room, they came into the waiting room to examine my foot. And I never paid a penny for that shit.
Hold up. Did he just say that it's private? 1. 2, the doctor came out to meet him in the parking lot. And as soon as he got inside, they started to make sure that he's okay. Service. That ain't happening here. No, you gotta find your way inside there and sitting in a waiting room for. I said private, and it didn't cost you a penny. In Australia, let's continue.
I can make like 200 of these, but I'll just talk about the first time I realized how fucked up the US is, which was in the first week that I got to Sweden, when my boyfriend's family told me that I need to make sure I get insured, and that I get insurance for everything I own, my laptop, my bike, my apartment, my whole body. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's so expensive. Like I'm already super in debt with student loans, so no. But I asked out of curiosity, just like how much it was going to cost. $100 a year to insure everything I have.
Huh?
For reference, like the average American person spends $456 a month just on health insurance. Just for healthcare. That doesn't include cars or home insurance. So.
Okay.
Stick a pin. $100 for insurance that cover body, car, assets that you have, like your laptop. Huh? What? Seriously? Like, guys, this is no joke. Are you serious? Like she said, the average American health insurance, only health, you're talking about $400, $500, $600, depending on the insurance you have. That does not include car insurance. That does not include house. Does that personal bill? 100 euro. That's it. That's it.
So I'm not currently living abroad, but I did live in Australia for a few months. And one night while I was there, I got a little bit too crazy and I ended up on public transportation without a phone. And I had to find my way back to my apartment and I got lost. And while I got off the tram to get onto a different tram to take me home, a middle-aged gentleman came up to me and I immediately went into attack mode and I was like going to kill him. And he was like, no, I was just going to tell you which tram to take to get back to Preston. And that was when I realized that in Australia, I didn't need to be afraid. Like, granted, take precautions, but I didn't need to be afraid of every man. But in America, I still am.
Ooh. Yeah. There's some weirdos out here. You gotta be wary of everybody. It's like you have to second guess whether they're young and they're old. There's some, whether they dress nice or not. You have to be on your guard here in the US. And you're lost and you don't know where you are. People, ain't saying good people out there, but you have to be mindful. How messed up is that you have to live like that?
Ooh, I've been waiting for this one.
Okay.
So at the time, I was living in Germany and I had gotten food poisoning after traveling back from a country. And I was so sick. I was not eating, not taking anything. And it had been 4 or 5 days. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I was too afraid to go to the hospital, one, because I was afraid I couldn't translate. But two, I just didn't want to deal with everything. But my friend said, no, we have to go. So I went. Tell me why we didn't have to wait on an emergency line. I was in the emergency room looking around. I was like, where do I sign in? Where's the line? Where are all the people? And they're like, no, you can go right in and go sit down. We'll be right with you. And I literally walked straight into the office, straight in. And while I was struggling to explain what was going on, they brought in 5 different doctors of each different one. And it only took them 5 minutes to come each time when they realized they couldn't help me. It was somebody else they needed. And I didn't have to pay anything on top of that.
I'm going to
You're telling me there's no necessarily wait time in your emergency room. And if one doctor don't know what's going on, they don't take an hour before another one roll in. You're telling me that you can walk inside a hospital outside of the You don't need to be bottled down with no paperwork. And it took her so quick to get through. And if this one, no, they move on to the next one and that was it. Listen, and it didn't cost her a penny. But she's sitting there, don't want to go because one, she said she didn't want to give anybody anything, but I'm positive in the back of her mind. She's like, I don't want to go because I'm going to pay an arm and a leg. Might as well stay over here and suffer. Can you imagine being home for so long, 4 to 5 days, sick like a dog and afraid to go because you know of the bill? You're just thinking about the bill that is coming your way. Only to find out there's no cost associated with it and there's no long lines and
American living abroad in Thailand. We've been living here for a year now. So we literally moved here when the pandemic started. My husband had a business trip right before the country closed to Singapore. He came back from Singapore with a fever. So they transported him to a hospital. That hospital, however, didn't have the facilities for full-on quarantine, and so they transported him using an ambulance to another hospital where he was COVID tested and quarantined. Luckily, he tested negative, but he still spent 2 days in the hospital and was transported by ambulance. And so I was thinking the cost was going to be so expensive. The overall cost of it was less than $300, where back in the States, I know it would have been thousands. It's just incredible to me that healthcare is affordable.
$300 to do all of that? Spend 2 days in the hospital, ambulance taking you back and forth. Less than $300 ain't happening, not in America. Not in America. And this was Thailand. Are you serious? My eyes are being opened. So now she's in Singapore.
I'm from LA and I moved to Singapore. And before coming here, I asked all my friends if I should bring anything like, pepper spray just in case anything happens. And they were like, no, that's like actually illegal. I don't think that they're allowed to have any kind of weapon. And I was like, what? We literally put them in our keychains as accessories. I was like, how do you defend yourself? They were like, from what? You don't have to. It's so safe. I was like, no way. So I Googled it and no one is allowed to use greater force than necessary to defend themselves. What? The U.S. can't ban guns, but Singapore can ban pepper sprays?
Guys, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because she's right. You can't ban them guns here in the US, but yet still don't put pepper spray everybody in their own country. Like she said, accessories on your keychain. Pepper spray. Accessory is like to protect. Woo! I wonder if a lot of Americans see this stuff. I honestly do. Because it's crazy when you stop to think about it. Because when you live in America, you get fed that everywhere outside of the US is the worst. And it's better. They're in this bubble that it's better to stay here. Healthcare outside of here is no good. You're not safe outside. And I'm like, it's like this wall that is pulled over people's eyes here, like, don't venture outside.
So I didn't realize this until I moved abroad, but Americans have a very strange concept of freedom.
Yep.
Like when you're growing up, you're always told that America is such an amazing place.
Yep.
And, it's the land of the free, home of the brave. But like I keep hearing these criticisms from people like, oh yeah, but America has the most freedom. Wow, yeah, freedom. I mean, there may be a few exceptions or nuances, but in the UK, you're still free. Like that is the biggest lie that Americans are ever told, that there aren't other free places. Like I don't understand. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I feel like the concept is kind of destroying American democracy. How ironic. Like they need to kind of understand that they need to work on things to make themselves better and more free for their citizens.
She hit the nail on the head. Like I said a few minutes ago or a couple seconds ago, it's like there's this wool over their eyes and they're fed so many stuff. They'll be like, are you listening to yourself? Or do you guys really listen to what you're being told? Or do you guys really look outside and see? I know there's a lot of expats now that are realizing that life is way better out of the US, out there. Life is better. There's so many opportunities. You understand? But it's crazy. Freedom from what? Freedom. What, child?
So just for a little context, I live in Latvia now, but when this happened to me, I was working in the UK as a bartender. And my coworkers and I were talking about gun violence in the US, and they were kind of making jokes like, oh, I'm surprised you graduated and you didn't get shot first and stuff like that. And I guess I was trying to defend it. So I was saying, it's not as bad as the news makes it seem. I only know one school that had an active shooter and had to go into lockdown. And, for me, I only had one gun threat in high school, and it was just a threat, and one when I was in elementary school. And then my coworkers kind of looked at me like,
that's not normal.
You what? And you think that's normal? And I was like, yeah, it's not even that bad.
See, that's how sad it is to the typical American. That is normal. That is normal. But if it comes across, it's like, that's normal. Oh, we just hear of some light threats. That's normal. And it's sad that they think that's okay. It's not okay. Because she like she said, yeah, that's normal. because it doesn't affect you right front up, or it's not in your home, or it's not at your front door, you're okay with it. That's the mentality I realize a lot of people here. Because it did not affect your family, you see it going around, but you won't lobby for, you won't say you don't want to make no changes because it's not at your doorstep, it's not happening to you. Sad. Schools. This is schools you're talking about. Gun violence from left to right, not even school alone, everything you can think of. And that's what they call freedom. Grenada, she said.
I was in Grenada for a couple of weeks, and every single day between 12 and 2, they would always close down. Everything would just close down. And I was just like, what is going on? And they were like, well, we need to go home and have lunch with our family, just enjoy, just relax a little bit. And that was when I realized every other country out here really understands the value of spending time with your loved ones and just actually taking a break, except America. America just teaches us to work for labor instead of actually living. So don't procrastinate on your happiness, sis. Your worth is not in labor. It's a luxury. Do what you want to do and be happy.
Period. I love the way she ended that. She's like, period. She is so right. America, work until you drop. Work. So you work. That's it. My kids are laughing. My kids are laughing at me, guys. They're on spring break. They're on summer break. Kids are out of school for the next 3 months. But that is crazy. You're telling me in Grenada they shut down for 2 hours. Everything is shut down for you to go home, have lunch, and spend time with your loved ones or your family. Just shut down. Say what? Not happening. Not happening in America. No way, no how. Even if you're sick, you better pull up to work. Your vacation, they'll even want to take a vacation time. Living life is a luxury. Don't work yourself. Period. I love the way she said that. But it's just mind-blowing that other countries, smaller countries, and yet still they say this is the number 1 country in the world. And third world countries can do this stuff and see the value of work-life balance and see the value of spending time with family. Shut it down. We're on a break. We're going to have lunch. Wow. Unheard of. I've never heard anything like that. It's my first time. Wow.
Oh, I've got a couple. So I'm from Los Angeles and now I live in Austria. And basically when I first started working here, they were like, you get 25 days vacation, Fridays off early. And if you're sick, don't come into work. And I was just like, I was floored because in the US, you only get 10 days vacation and like 5 sick days and you don't get Fridays off early.
Yep.
You work your ass until it's 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
On top of all of that, all my friends here have like 2 masters, 3 PhDs, et cetera, because education here is actually free. Amazing. What an amazing concept. In addition, I have yet to see a large homeless community out in the open here in Austria because the government actually offers some social support. A lot of social support. In LA, you have villages, streets, blocks full of homeless people because our government doesn't care about us. And here, people like don't measure their worth off the car they drive.
Wow. So you're telling me in Austria, you get your PhD, whatever college or university, it's free. You don't have a massive homeless community because the government take care of its people? Huh? She's right. In Cali, masses are homeless. New York, masses are homeless. Alaska here where I live, some areas you see so many homeless, not massive, but you can see them. They're trying to build places and put them in, but it's still a lot out there. They're trying here in Alaska. That's why I said Alaska is, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh, it's a little bit different than a lot of the other states, but it's still, you can see it. But she's like, what? She said, nope. You don't have to worry about that stuff because they take care of their people. Tertiary education, free. Oh, kids, we need to move. Like, move.
I want to continue.
Because this, the more I see, the more I learn. It's like, yeah.
Okay, so I live in New York now, but I used to live in England. And one time I was out at this bar with my friends, and these two cops walked by. And one of my friends was like, oh, I wonder why there are cops out right now. And I looked at the cops and I got really confused. And I was like, those are cops? And my friends were like, yeah. And I was like, they don't have guns. And everyone was like, why would they have guns? They were like so aghast at that question. And I was realized in that moment and learned that guns, there are so few guns in the UK, and it's such not an issue that like the everyday cop does not carry a gun. And I was just, there are houses in America that have seen more guns in them than a fresh vegetable. It blew my fucking mind. I think about it all the time. I hate guns so much. I hate guns so much.
You and I both. I'm sorry, guys. The way he said it, I'm like, the man said, listen, I've seen more guns in a house more than they would have fresh vegetables. And it's true. It is so true. There's some houses that are filled with, so you wonder what. It's like they're setting up for World War III. I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't get it. But the first time I watched a video and I realized that UK cops don't carry gun, I was like, what? Your everyday cop don't carry a gun? How come? Why? When? Where in the world is this the case? I was shocked. And then I started to learn more about the UK. And I was like, oh my word. And then I heard about, and then I saw the one mass shooting, and I'm like, are you serious? Just like that, bam. Cops, it's not a necessity for cops there to have. But here, every other day is a shooting somewhere. Nobody don't care here in America, period, point blank. They don't care. It doesn't matter how many lives are being lost, they don't care. Because it's a $1 trillion business. Nobody care. That is, yeah.
I was living in Italy and my friend needed an ambulance. We weren't going to get an ambulance because of the cost. And then we learned that in Italy, it's free for ambulances. We're literally like, wow, it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars for an ambulance. That is crazy. A human life is in fact more valuable than profit here. It is so sad that we have accepted if you are in a vulnerable health situation, it will cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and many people go into medical debt because of this.
Yeah.
Where are our priorities?
Where are our priorities indeed? Can you imagine that? No cost for ambulance when here your typical cost is $5,000. Am I right? Or it's $500? I don't even remember.
Was it for one trip?
I don't even remember.
I wouldn't know whenever I watched.
Let me look it up. I think it's $5,000 if my memory serves me correct. I don't want to lie, but it costs you. People are afraid to take an ambulance ride here. Because people would rather somebody take them to the hospital. Oh Lord, I didn't even type it in. Ambulance. Ambulance cost to the hospital. Listen, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, you see, they prioritize people. Oh yeah, ranging from $500 to $3,500 or more without insurance for an ambulance ride. Yep, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you.
How much is it with insurance?
Insurance between $250 to $1,500 with insurance, depending on the plan and the coverage. Wow.
Isn't insurance supposed to save you?
Son, insurance is not insurance in. You have insurance that don't really do jack for you much. You still end up in debt after paying that insurance. Guys, this is crazy. This is wild. This is mind blowing. I sit here and I watch this and I'm like, and ain't nobody. I'm telling you, if American public, if the people or the citizens decide to boycott a lot, things will change. But everybody's just right back, sit back, and you'll hear a little squeak here, and then it die down, and you hear a little squeak here, and it die down, and then that's it. What is going on? The land of the free and the home of the brave, they say. But yet still third world countries, like I said, I'm not looking down on third world country, but I'm like, if third world country can do this, universal health care, if they can take care of help with the homelessness, if they can do this and they can do that, why cannot America get a blueprint or a bone structure of saying, okay, if we do this and we tweak this here and we look at certain things this way, maybe we can help our citizens. Why? Not to mention education, not to mention... Woo. It's the island girl and I'm running out of here. Like I said, this is number 2. I did number 3. I did number 1. Number 4, here I come. The more I listen, from Austria to Australia to UK to Germany to... And I'm like, and I'm sitting down and I'm listening to Thailand. I'm listening to these places and I'm like, then why can't America wake up and take care of its citizens? But it's all about money. Period. It's all about the money for them. Anything where they can make a profit from. I did a video the other day about beef is banned in the European. They don't want US beef because of all of the hormones that my mind was blown. All of the hormones that it pumped into. Over 160 countries not taking any chicken, beef, egg. And I'm like, what? If you guys haven't seen that one, I'm going to link it in the description and I'll pin it in this. Crazy. It's the island girl. Love you guys to the max. Now I watch that video. Now when I go to the store, baby, don't put that on that there. You're putting it on the vent. I am mindful. I'm searching everything as I go. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys. Don't forget to hit the like. It tells YouTube that you like this video, and it will send this out and share so other people can see it. Hi, Raya. Are you okay? Okay, one moment. Love you guys to the max. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and I'll definitely catch you guys in another video. All right, guys. Bye.